Britta,
Yes,
you work for the Quakers.
I do.
Tell us more about that.
I work for the American Friends Service Committee, and we are, I suppose, the analog to the British Friends Service Committee, which is in England. And our slogan is Quaker Values in Action. So, basically what Quakers care about are things like pacifism, anti-militarism, issues of justice, peace building, conflict resolution, things like that. And
So what do you do?
what do I do? Good question.
You travel right across the southeast of America?
I organize events. I have a couple. Basically, I have three initiatives with my program. One is to do a teacher's education program where we educate teachers who teach children in schools, kindergarten through 12th grade, on they will have certain curriculum requirements that they have to teach about the Middle East, and we will try to address those and say, okay, on these particular requirements, these are the things that you have to teach, and here's additional curriculum materials and so forth. A lot of them have no idea what's going on, and they only know from what they see on TV or what they hear on places like Fox News, or even CNN, which is very unfair.
So it's an educational program.
It's an educational program. It's Middle East Peace Education. And I have an advocacy program where we try to do things where we try to take concrete actions on specific issues. And right now there's two bills that are in Congress that I'm focusing on. One is House Resolution 130, which declares support for George Mitchell and for a two-state solution in Israel-Palestine. I don't personally support a two-state solution because I don't think it's really viable as it is right now, unless they somehow find a way to connect Gaza and the West Bank through a real method and not like a highway. So the other one is House Resolution 94, which is focusing on an incident to sea agreement with Iran. We have currently no diplomatic naval agreements or any other kind of agreements with Iran. And that this would basically get passed and take effect so that if there is indeed any kind of incident at sea, then there would be a protocol on how to deal with that diplomatically.
So it'll diffuse potential tensions.
Right. And the third program is one on economic justice. And Froelicher mentioned earlier about the Presbyterian Church having a divestment campaign, and I believe the Anglican Church also has a divestment campaign. And the deal with that is that while we as an organization are probably not going to pursue a BDS strategy because it can be seen as overly confrontational, and that's not the Quaker way of engaging with people you disagree with and so forth, what the strategy that I have around that is to actually build off something called the Sullivan Principles, which was something that was used in apartheid South Africa. And these were principles that basically espouse kind of equal opportunity, equal pay for equal work, that sort of thing. And we're working on revising those, renaming them, and trying to implement them with partners in Israel and Palestine.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I hope that was helpful at all.
Britta, I was going to ask you what your hopes for the Middle East at the moment are.
My hopes are, I don't have any particular hopes for any particular solution vis-a-vis one state or two state. I don't think that's for me to decide. But what I hope for is that the people of the region will develop things to lose. They will have jobs and families and real investments in their communities so that they won't be driven to violence and extremism because they have something to lose. Maybe that sounds kind of non-realist, but I feel like a lot of like the hopes are not necessarily something for me to take a particular stand on.
So you don't think the two-state solution is realistic?
Personally, no, not as it is right now, because when you look, there's a UN report, it's on their website, on UNRWA's website, and it talks about the fragmentation of the West Bank and where the settlements are, and where there's nature preserves, and where there's buffer zones in the wall, and that's not even getting into Gaza. but it's not viable as it is. And so, what is the end result of having settlements everywhere and all kinds of government installations? It's a one-state solution. It's a solution where there is no ethnically cleansed state of Israel, and there is no pure Palestinian state. It's just that land from the Mediterranean to the Jordan. You can call it whatever you want. You can keep the name Israel. It doesn't matter. But
as long as Palestinians have the same rights.
It's about equal rights. Yeah. It's about full citizenship and equal rights. And if something like this were going on in Argentina or whatever other country, people would, scream and cry about it. I mean, everybody screams and cries about Tibet. Oh, it's the worst thing. But the scale is not even the same as it is in Israel and Palestine. So, I mean, that's what it is.
And you'll have a new president, Barack Obama. Do you think that a new government will make any difference?
I think that it's really important for people to understand that an American president, regardless of his party or political ideology affiliations, has something called American national interest. That is their number one first thing. And that is that they adhere to the religion of American exceptionalism, where, this is the best country on earth and we have the power and the will to be the moral good. And I don't think that the world should put that much faith in Barack Obama. I mean, it's not like Bill Clinton did so many fantastic things, and that's something that we have to keep in mind. I don't have that much hope.
First of all, that's